Russian-style tactics help Ukraine counterattack impressively in Kursk. 2 days after the counterattack in Russia's Kursk province, Ukraine held new positions around the village of Fanasevka, nearly 5 kilometers from their original defense lines. In the third year of the conflict, advancing nearly 5 kilometers in a day is impressive, especially when drones are everywhere and modern armored vehicles are scarce. To advance so far and so quickly, the Ukrainian army appears to have used the same tactics that Russia used in its most successful attacks, but with a twist. According to Forbes, the Ukrainian army did what the Russian army usually does, probing the enemy for weak spots and then deploying fast-moving armored groups to deliver infantry to new positions. Whether Ukraine can sustain its advances depends on whether reinforcements arrive quickly enough to counter Russian counterattacks. After consolidating its forces, Ukraine may launch another offensive. The tactic of probes and then blitzkrieg, led by infantry but supported by fast-moving vehicles, has been refined by the Russian armed forces as the conflict enters its second year. As Ukrainian mines, UAVs, artillery and anti-tank missiles make mass mechanized attacks impossible if not suicidal. With a manpower advantage of 3 or more to 1 in many areas, the Russian military tends to send small groups of infantry toward Ukrainian lines, hoping that survivors will spot gaps in Ukrainian defenses. Russian forces will continuously deploy other infantry groups along the same approach. Ukrainian forces will have to constantly defend their positions against massive attacks. This will cause Ukraine to waste ammunition and exhaust its personnel. The Royal United Services Institute, UK, asserted, if Russia's military power surpasses Ukraine's firepower, Russia can control weak Ukrainian positions. The main difference between Russia's and Ukraine's versions of this offensive tactic is that Russia has a lot of troops, while Ukraine does not. Therefore, Ukraine must have a different approach to probe its opponents before attacking. The 73rd Ukrainian Navy Special Operations Center, essentially the Navy SEALS, is deployed in Kursk, near the starting point of the counterattack on the village of Fanasevka. The center's mission, according to the statement, is to collect important intelligence on hostile forces. Well-trained, Ukrainian commandos are highly likely to survive dangerous reconnaissance missions. In that way, Ukrainian attacks can be less costly in terms of manpower than Russian ones, a necessity for a Ukrainian military that has struggled to mobilize enough troops.